Well, since the last video, I've mostly been collecting glass. Habitat for Humanity, thrift stores, and then I just got some free glass off of Craigslist. So that's the progress so far. And now continuing to frame, did a little bit of cementing yesterday, and I'm building this runoff here that's going to feed the pond. It's going to be inside in this area right here. So that's the runoff pipe right there. But mostly framing and putting in the glass pieces that I found, all mismatched, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'll make it work. Yeah, these are the pieces I got yesterday, the free stuff off of Craigslist. Just single pane, no frame. Held in place right now by hundreds, if not thousands, of zip ties. And then I'll come in and cement it with a ferrocement. And it'll be beautiful. Really happy how it's come together. These windows actually open and close, which will be nice for ventilation. And I'm doing the colored glass for the archway here. That's not how they're gonna be. They're just sitting there, ready to be cemented. They'll be all straight and arched. Okay, and then in this pile are all the glass pieces I found, just, again, thrift stores, what have you. These are glass lids off of, I don't know, crock pots, various plates. Here's a light fixture. And more stuff in here. And then glass bricks, just anything that I can find, just random things that I can embed into the walls. That'll be the colored glass and accent pieces and what have you. And then I've got these bottles that I've been collecting. They're just sitting in there right now. Those will be embedded as well. And then of course the colored glass. You know, you just find it. I love these blue Saratoga water bottles. Yes, it's pricey, but it's worth it. And then the green, I like putting those together. Very pretty. So you'll see how it all comes together, and then it's going to flow into this pond area, and that's going to feed the indoor pond. So it's all about water catchment, water harvesting, and we haven't had rain in a very long time. Oh, look at them, just spraying the shit out of us today, huh? It's been like that. Look at that. All that, that's not natural clouds, that's just shit being sprayed into the sky. So, well, I'm hoping we get some monsoon rains pretty soon, but until that happens, I just got to be ready, prepared to collect it when it does come. There we go. Just set it in place for now. I'll come in later and cement it today. And then this one, put up there. I like this amber. Some kind of old serving tray from the 60s, looks like, 70s maybe. This, I don't even know what it was. Some kind of bowl maybe? Salad bowl? No idea. And this is the other side. So where that salad bowl is sitting, I guess I'm just gonna call it a salad bowl. Once that's in place, I'll come in and I'll just trim, cut out all this burlap. You can see how the cement gets into the weaving of the burlap. gives it some more strength. So that's the way that it works best. There you go. Yeah, they just been spraying the crap out of us the last few days. Just by the afternoon, the sky is just white with this shit. And that's a major impetus for me to even build this structure so I can grow and keep all my plants covered, because they're not even hiding this shit anymore. If you want aluminum, strontium, barium, and other assorted heavy metals that will get into your plants and then get into you, go for it. But I'm going to cover and grow indoors as much as possible. Look at that. Along with all the heavy metals and shit that's in these chemtrails are accelerants. So all the accelerants get sprayed onto the ground. We haven't had rain in like forever. And all you gotta do is spark it. And then you got fires like in Nebraska and Oklahoma and places that don't normally get these wildfires. And they're intentionally set. People need to figure this shit out. So once this gets cemented, not only will it protect the plants that I can grow indoors, but the cement, of course, is fireproof. And so is my structure. Can't burn cement. It's fireproof. It's floodproof. Whatever they want to throw at us, I'm just trying to stay one step ahead. That's all. As for my outdoor guys, this is my Navajo willow. You know, we're only 4 days into spring and got all these blossoms and greenery. So let's hope it holds. Don't see any bees now, but they've been coming around. 3 years ago when I moved out here, there wasn't a single bee. And for the last, 3 years, basically, that's the way it's been. So it's so nice I hear the bees, I just don't see them. This is cherry, this is peach. Got a bunch of fruit trees going. A bunch of apple trees out here. Not everything makes it. It's pretty harsh, but the ones that make it the first year and then the second year and now the third year, they don't grow fast, but they're growing. Yeah, you can hear the bees. So they're pollinating. This is an Asian pear. He's been struggling, but he's got some buds. So he's hanging in there. It's a plum tree. Same thing. Struggling, but hanging in there. That's all you can ask. And then I mulch like crazy. This is one of my apple trees. Again, he's been struggling, but the buds are coming. Hopefully this is his breakout year. This is my 3-in-1 apple tree. And I think that's the Gala graft right there. It's starting to get some green. The rest of it's budding. So it's Gala and Honeycrisp, and Fuji. Yeah. And even my aspen. This guy's been struggling for 3 years. Little dwarf. Maybe this is his breakout year too. Get some good height and some growth. So yeah, the aspens, and then I got my pine. This is the black Austrian pine. Little guys, little saplings. But yeah, they're less than a year old, so I think they're gonna do pretty well. Hopefully. Get some shade out here. That would be nice. Here's another apple tree. This is Gala. No, sorry, Red Delicious. And he's just starting, or she, who knows. There's the first bud right here, popping out. See, right before they bud, they get like this little fuzz here, and then they open up. Yeah, look at that on the horizon, just complete whiteout in the morning, all through the night. Look at that trail, and they just extend out. So all this is going to be white, make it overcast here, block the sun, and then all this stuff will fall on the ground. That's why I try to work out here in the morning before it all comes down. I don't have to breathe this all day. I really didn't intend for this video to be about this, but it is what it is. So right on cue, it's only 1:30 in the afternoon, and like I said this morning, this whole sky would be covered. And there's only a little bit of blue remaining, and they're still spraying. I'm just curious, and please, you know, if you don't believe in this stuff, just spare your comments. I've done the research for decades now, and I know what this shit is. But to each his own, I guess. I'm just wondering where you are, and if there's been an uptick in spraying wherever you are. I know in New Mexico there sure has been, so I'm not liking this at all. Plus, I've been asthmatic my whole life, so I don't need anybody to inform me on what it feels like. I'm going to shut it down for the day because I have a hard time breathing, and it's directly related. So, yeah, I only work half days out here. In the afternoons, I move inside, get away from this, and feel bad for people who have the same kind of sensitivities that I have and who have to work outside in it all day, every day. So it is what it is, people. And again, this is a huge reason why I'm building this.